She shuddered. Julie Greene didn't do movie night. Camille, look. She tried again. It's not that I don't respect your suggestions. Oh? Camille tilted her head, making her chemically straightened bob sway ever so slightly, and Julie froze. Over the years, Julie had come to think of Camille's usually immobile hair as her tell. When it moved, someone's life was about to get really messy. Up until now, it had never been Julie's life. In the 6 years that she'd been working for Camille as a full-time columnist, this was the first time Julie had received a direct order on a story topic. Even when Julie had been fresh out of college, with nothing but a handful of internships under her belt, Camille had given her wide latitude on what to write about. Julie knew that Camille trusted her judgment. So what was with the sudden power trip? It didn't make sense. Julie was one of Stiletto's best columnists, and they both knew it. And Camille had always encouraged her writers to play to their strengths. Julie's niche was the single readers with the dream of falling in love. After that, they were on their own. Julie sat up straighter. Wait, no, that wasn't entirely true. Readers did have some place to go once they got past the fun part of dating. Grace Brighton. Why not have Grace do it? Julie asked excitedly. She's your relationship guru. And here I thought you and Grace were both my relationship gurus. We are, Julie agreed quickly. It's just that we each have our own expertise. Anything having to do with long-term relationships is Grace's. Camille pursed her lips, painted today in a rather shocking coral. And how would you describe yourself? Julie's heel jittered beneath the desk in frustration. Camille knew full well what Julie's expertise was. Everyone at the Stiletto office did. Heck, half the women in Manhattan knew Julie by name, knew what she stood for. Stiletto was the magazine to work at. The dating, love, and sex department was the department to work in. And Julie, Grace Brighton, and Riley McKenna were dating, love, and sex, respectively. Julie answered slowly. I'm all about butterflies, first kiss, getting him to call. You know, dating. Mm-hmm. And how is it that a woman goes from those giddy first few dates to the comfortable, committed stuff that Grace writes about? Julie's mind went blank. There was really no good way to tell the editor-in-chief of the country's largest women's magazine that you'd never bothered to think about what happened after. And sure, maybe some people might think Julie a little insubstantial, but she was willing to bet those same people were perpetually dateless or entrenched in yoga pants and movie nights. Well, I guess it sort of evolves, Julie replied finally. How? With the right person, it just happens. That's the mystery of what makes true love so special. God, I almost made myself vomit. Camille shook her head. Not good enough. You've seen the letters from our readers. They want to know the specifics. These are women who've already had the 3rd date. They've even been on the 7th. But then what? How do they move forward? Julie's sleeveless Kate Spade turtleneck dress suddenly felt a little tight around her throat. If not Grace, Riley could write it, Julie said, grasping at straws. You know, I actually think she's been looking for a way to broaden her focus and take a break from the sex stuff for a while. Can't you just see it? Outside the bedroom, or something like that. Julie, Camille said with a sigh. Grace and Riley have their stories figured out for the next few issues. I've already okayed them.